I'm Jenni Carlson here with Brandon Chatmon at Boone Pickens Stadium, where tonight Oklahoma State has been defeated by Oklahoma 47-41. This is our OSU postgame. Our coverage is brought to you by Eskridge Lexus. They've got some of their best deals of the year. Be sure to stop in and see them today. Brandon, even though the first three quarters were pretty entertaining, this game really came down to the fourth quarter. What went wrong? What went right for the Pokes? Just break down that fourth quarter for us.
I think really what went wrong for the Pokes at the end is quite simply the defense was on the field too much throughout the game. I mean, over 100 plays, 107 plays, I believe. And they simply couldn't get the stops when they needed to late in the game. They needed to get a stop against Cameron Kinney. He goes 86 yards for a touchdown, and then a great play call. Hannah goes long for a touchdown. And if the Pokes were able to get some stops on those two particular plays, things might have turned out differently, but OU came up with the big plays when they needed them. OSU did not.
You mentioned all those plays, and Bill Young talked after the game that he had defensive backs cramping all night. Is that a product of an offense that offense struggled in the first half? Maybe that isn't what we're going to talk about with the fourth quarter, but is that really maybe what cost the Pokes late?
Yeah, I think that's been a big key, and I think that's been part of the reason why the Pokes have struggled on third down, to be frank, all year. I think they felt like their cornerbacks, they won't say it, but I think they felt like their young cornerbacks, they were a little concerned about those guys. How would they hold up in one-on-one coverage with some of these Big 12 receivers? So they've kept their top two cornerbacks out on the field for the entire game, and then you're in a situation late in the game where those guys are tired, they're having a tough time staying with receivers who are obviously switching in and out throughout the game. So it created some problems to their cornerback depth tonight.
Let's talk about what happens next, because obviously this was a game to play in the Big 12 championship game. Now that opportunity is lost. How much of a disappointment is this for the Cowboys, the way this one played out tonight?
Well, it's a huge disappointment. Obviously, you had the opportunity on your home field to go to your first Big 12 championship game and potentially go to a BCS game. So, obviously, you've got to be really disappointed because heading into this game, you had to feel pretty good about your chances. But there's still some possibilities as far as some pretty good bowl games for the Cowboys to go to. You might see them end up in the Alamo Bowl. You might see them make a return trip to the Cotton Bowl. So, there's still the opportunity to go to a pretty good bowl game, and it was a pretty good season for the Cowboys.
10-2 in a season that a lot of people thought the Cowboys might finish last in the Big 12 South. They await their bowl fate. That will come after the championship games of next weekend. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.